Hey everyone, this is Lomi, and today I wanted to take a second to tell you about a big mistake I made this past week in my hobby, for which I really have no excuse after being part of the hobby for so long. Last week, I mentioned how I decided to get a different body for Rillin, my Lottie doll boy I'm currently modifying and customizing. I want him to have a softer, more childlike look, and I've been looking at a lot of different doll bodies. I came across one I really liked the aesthetic of, and immediately afterward I saw a doll with that body up for sale. It was a good price for a doll that was already affordable, so even though I haven't sold the body Rillin came with yet, I decided to go ahead and get it. Goodbye tax return, right? Just kidding, we filed our taxes in January and still haven't gotten our return yet. Everything is going so slow. Anyway, I had bought this doll leaves Kira secondhand, and I was super excited when he arrived just a few days later. The doll's in great condition, and came with his COA and a wig and eyes too. He's got nice jointing, though the torso joint moves around inside a little bit more than I'd like. I took off the head right away to try the body for Rillin. He's got a cute face, but he's not right to be my boy. No matter what body I got for Rillin, I knew I'd need to either airbrush or dye the body to match his head, or remove his face up and airbrush his head to match the body. Resin gets harder to match as it ages. And while I knew the neck would be a lot smaller because the Lottie boys have such huge necks, this isn't a difficult problem to address because I can easily make a disc that will fit inside the neck hole on the head and correct the fit. Proportionally, I felt like the heads were just about the same size, so in that respect, the doll body worked really well. There was just one really big problem, and that was that the measurements I found for the company were not accurate. So while it seemed like they'd be similar enough to share clothing based on the size of the body, the new body ended up looking like a child next to his old body, instead of looking like a child next to my 1/3 size dolls. This was supposed to be a 42 centimeter doll, while the Lottie Blue body is 46 centimeters, but the body is actually way smaller. Instead of a 4 centimeter difference, it's closer to 8 or 9. I'm so angry at myself because I really only have myself to blame. I learned with my very first doll that measurements listed online are not always accurate, and that you really have to check with other doll owners to get really accurate measurements. I've always made a point of carefully checking owner information to be sure the dolls I'm getting are exactly the size I think they are. This was the first time I didn't, and it was a huge mistake. I can't believe I did that. Because of the huge size difference between the two bodies, the fantasy leg parts I've already got are nowhere near being able to fit onto this body. Which means the doll leaves body is totally unusable for me, and I'll have to immediately turn around and sell this doll again. Which is a serious bummer because now I can't afford to try again until both doll bodies sell. I'm also a little disappointed because the doll leaves body is so cute. It's perfect for the look I wanted, and the engineering on it is really nice. So it's easy to manipulate and easy to pose, but it's just not going to work. So learn from my mistake and be sure you always double check your information. Check with other doll owners before making a purchase, and never be afraid to ask questions if you aren't sure of what you're doing. And this situation is a good reminder for me too, that there's no such thing as a stupid question in the hobby, and the information that turns up first when you're looking at dolls isn't guaranteed to be right. So it's important that more established hobbyists answer questions for newbies whenever they can. Since this guy is already here with me, I'll go ahead and give him a good cleaning and make sure he's perfect for his next owner. For me, though, it's back to window shopping and more thorough research. And that's it for today, just a quick installment in the misadventures that come with making a hybrid doll. Thanks for watching. Bye.